Hi everyone, happy new moon in Sagittarius. I got a lot here, and it's very Sagittarian. Sagittarius in its highest form is the great philosopher, the great teacher. Sagittarius can have access to wisdom that comes from beyond their conscious awareness, maybe from their subconscious mind or tapping into the collective energies. And so I'm really not surprised at some of the things that I got here. And these are things that I sit in meditation with. So I have my music here, I do my singing bell, I say my prayers, and I sit here, and whatever comes through comes to my mind, comes as a passing thought, or it seems to come kind of with like another voice in my head. I know how that sounds, but it has like a different tonality to it than my own thoughts. Then I write it down. And see, even me explaining it to you in this way is very Sagittarian. It's very teacher-like, right? So there is something in this new moon energy that is perhaps going to be explained to you in a way that helps you understand something, or maybe you're doing that with others. But it's like something becomes clear. You're able to follow a thread. You're able to follow a thread of thought, or why people act a certain way or do things in a certain way. It feels like things become very clear if you are channeling the energy. Something about androgyny came through there. Interesting. Something about if you're channeling, well, maybe it's both masculine and feminine energies together, or maybe neither. But if you're channeling the energy of Sagittarius in its highest form, you know, in its lowest form, Sagittarius can be impulsive, reactive, immature on some level, you know, if we think about the Knight of Wands in reverse being a Sagittarian card. So I got the message here that, remember, everything has a higher form and a lower form. Everything has something that you can see about it and also something that you can't see about it. And everybody who you feel like is in a higher form also has lower forms within them. Okay, so there's something about like, don't allow things to shock and surprise you, because if they do, it means that you may have projected an ideal upon somebody, or maybe you cast a stone or a judgment and now they've surprised you in a pleasant way. But there's something about Spirit saying you shouldn't be surprised. You should know that everything has a dualistic aspect to it. Some of you are creating neologisms. Yes, neologisms. Okay, I'm seeing, because I said lodge, I'm seeing a lodge here, like a cabin. Maybe you feel like you're off on your own somewhere, creating ideas or inventing something right now that has yet to be accepted, but that helps explain things to others in a way that hasn't been explained before. Neologism. So that's like, you know, making up your own word kind of. Or that could be useful for you. Something about finding a name for your channel, your YouTube channel. That's for someone obviously in particular. So try not to be surprised. Remember that there's always things that are unseen. You know, so yeah, the Spirit was saying, if you're surprised about something, it's either because we've projected something onto that, or we've refused to see what was already kind of shown to us. We've suppressed it, repressed it, said, I don't want to see that red flag. Never mind. I'm just going to delude myself into thinking that something is what it isn't. Okay. So you are very intuitive. You are very energetically aware and conscious of what's going on around you and within you. So stay with that energy and don't let anything surprise you. Don't underestimate others as well, because we don't know. We don't know the unknown. We don't know the unseen. Sometimes it's revealed to us and sometimes not. Sometimes a little bit, sometimes all of it. So there's something here where Spirit really wants you to feel at ease with the fact that everything has light and dark, everything has seen and unseen. And it may seem like people flip or switch on a dime, but it's just because the unseen aspect of them wasn't available to you prior. It's not that it wasn't there. It was always there. Okay? Now, first thing I heard was don't forget me. And then later on, as I kept going, there was a message coming through. I didn't write it down, but there was a message like to avoid using words like don't, won't, can't, shouldn't. And there's something about that being like a negative form. Try to rephrase that kind of terminology into, instead of don't forget me, change it into something like remember me. Okay, so I don't know if you're writing or maybe this is just the way you're thinking. There's something about, rather than saying don't do this and pushing energy away, it's like when you say remember me, you're pulling the energy into you. So this is with any don't, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't. This is an interesting reading. We're going to get into cards, by the way. My name is Andy. This is 13 Moon Tarot. I'm weird. This is how I do things. Like it or not, it's cool. Okay, so I also heard that magic is the pulse of light, but I wasn't sure whether I heard light or life. Magic is the pulse of life and light. So I'm seeing fairies. Believe in the unseen, right? Believe in the magic, because what is life without magic? What is life without miracles? What is life without imagination and exploration? There's a certain kind of joy and energy that moves through you when you believe in magic and when you practice your own magic. And magic can be many, 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 many things, okay? Magic can be done in the mundane. It doesn't always have to be like cauldrons and things like that. You know, it could be many, many things, okay? I also heard use your words wisely. This has something to do with the don't, can't, shouldn't thing. Have curiosity toward what you don't understand. Keep an open mind. Without one, nothing would be possible. Is that it? Oh, presuming to know everything leads to downfall. And then the last one I got was emotional judgments of others are boomerangs of energy that will return to you with the question, who am I? So when we put out a judgment of others that comes from an emotional nature, right? Like we're triggered by someone, or maybe we're judging them and we haven't really thought why. We haven't stopped to think why we're judging somebody or where those judgments are coming from. That energy inevitably comes back to you, maybe in a different form, but Spirit is saying it's coming back to you with the question, or with something that will happen that will get you to question who you really are. Because when you judge others from an emotional space, there's obviously an implicit message here that you don't know who you are. Okay? Now you can make intellectual judgments and things of that nature, rational judgments, but emotional judgments are something else. Okay? They're coming from a space of not knowing, or not being comfortable with the ways in which you judge yourself. Okay, guys, big messages coming through. I expected this too because I had taken some time away from the table. I'd taken some time away from tarot here. Well, it felt like it to me. It's only been 4 days, but I don't know. It felt like I was on a break. And so I was expecting this different energy to come through afterwards. So maybe this is something you're experiencing too, a little bit of a lull or a break in whatever creative practice you do, or something that you're intently in love with. Ooh, okay. Something that you fall in love with what you're creating, or maybe this is a person, you're on a break with someone and there's going to be new energy coming in with that union or with that thing that you're intently in love with. Okay, I'm going to get the theme of this new moon in Sagittarius. What is the theme here, Spirit? What can we expect with this new moon energy in Sagittarius? There's a lot. Ooh, it's funny. The crone. I just saw a shirt online that said, in my crone era. And I like it. I want to buy it, but I'm trying not to buy anything other than gifts around this season. And it's interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, because I was thinking, well, am I in my crone era yet? I don't know. Maybe I'm entering into it. So perhaps there's a question about your wisdom or how far you've come, you could be overestimating where you are on your path. Perhaps you're at a beginning phase when you think you're more ahead than you should be. And this could be a positive thing, okay? Because that relates to that allowing like new, fresh knowledge and curiosity for the unknown to come in, right? Usually we think about the crone energy as someone who knows a lot. But of course, anybody who knows a lot knows they don't know everything. Okay, so there's something about your wisdom, your crone energy, regardless of your gender. It says know your power. Know your power. That's what you can know at this time with the Sagittarius new moon is your power. Look at that image. There's something about corn, wheat, abundance, an abundance of magical or inner power. This looks like a wave too. Maybe you're getting waves of insight, waves of wisdom. And then we have Niacent. Your potential is right. 26. Your potential is ripe. But I was also about to say right. Your potential is right. Now's the right time for something that you've been keeping as a potential to come into form. It's new though. It's Niacent. It's new. So we have the new with the old. I love this. Okay. So you're climbing a very short ladder, actually, to retrieve the fruits of your labor or to harvest something. So you're just one step away or a couple steps away from what you've been trying to cultivate and obtain in your life. And for some of you, you haven't really like formulated in your mind what that thing looks like, but you're on your way. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 rungs on this ladder in the card 7, the crone. Yeah. Okay. So maybe in 7 days, 7 weeks, at the most 7 months, you could be in a 7-year cycle. Okay. That's just started. A positive cycle for you, I feel, because there is something to harvest at the end of it. There's also something that you thought maybe was gone, dead. It was over. The leaves had fallen, and you're going to see something new come out of that. Okay, and this is that unexpected again. You didn't see this potential before. Today was the first day that I saw frost on the trees. I don't know why I'm saying that. It must be significant in some way. It's like there's something about the first time or the first day that you feel like winter has set in, metaphorically, like the end has set in. You know, the darkness I'm hearing has come, or it's come. It's like that moment you see something budding. It's red, like a berry or an apple or whatever it is. It's red. Comes from your root. Comes from something you've planted energetically. The frost sets in and then you see something begin to grow. Interesting. Okay, let's go further, guys, and see what else we get. I hope you guys are all doing well and feeling well. Let me know how this new moon energy is feeling for you. There's also a feeling here of confidence. And having gone through periods of life in which you maybe were asked to prove yourself or felt like you had to prove yourself, but you're coming into this zone in which you feel more autonomy. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Some of you might be philosophers or teachers or something like that. Or I don't know. I'm getting this concept come to mind. And it's by an anarchist philosopher. His name was Hakim Bey. That could be an important name. I was also hearing Mike before. And Julia. Trust falling out. And he talked about this concept called the temporary autonomous zone. And his idea was that we, more or less, was that we have the capacity and ability to create these temporary moments or spaces, energetic spaces even, that are temporary in nature, fleeting, but in which we experience freedom, agency, autonomy, and that's magic, actually. So maybe it's like the temporary autonomous zone. It's like casting a circle. So you're casting a circle of energetic protection around you so that you can be free in your thinking, I feel. Free thought forms. Freedom isn't just the ability to do things. It's also the ability to think things. Think what you want and say what you want. That's when you know you're truly free. And I'm getting those who, some of you have been in a relationship with someone who's tried to control your thoughts. We also have balance in reverse for what's the challenge or the energy that should be released during this new moon. So the energy that should be embraced, trust, inner trust. And the energy that should be released, balance in reverse. So feeling imbalanced. Maybe this is why we're talking about the duality so much. Change is coming in here. There's a new chapter to your book that wants to be written. But I have to say, the feeling of the balance or imbalance doesn't feel entirely negative. It feels like it was necessary to feel a sense of like, even inertia, in a sense of like, I don't know which way to go. It's like sitting in the middle, not knowing which way to go. But if you're sitting in the middle, you're kind of at the balance point. I'm hearing fulcrum. So I feel like you're coming out of a period here where you were exploring what it meant to find balance, but it could have felt like inertia to you. It could have felt like stagnancy and being stuck. Nurture, but see, it's like a time in which you were nurturing something. So this is the energy you need less of, because I feel like you've already accomplished some sense of moving through the complexity of balance, okay? Because balance is a middle point. It is being in the in-between. But we can frame that in our own minds or characterize that as being stuck when really we're just in balance. And so now I feel like there's some forward momentum. There's change. Oh, and what's the forward momentum have to do with balance? Observe. Well, when we're in a point where we feel stuck or like we're, not moving forward, we can't make up our mind. Oh my God, there's so many choices and there's no opportunities. It's a good opportunity for us to observe. That's the opportunity. Observe our own mind, observe our own thoughts, observe the world around us. Do we really want that opportunity that we've been striving for? Do we really want this relationship that we've been holding on to? I'm hearing finagling over. Okay, do we really want it? And maybe we do and maybe we don't. But that time where we felt so-called stuck is a time for us to really observe those feelings we have and those thoughts we have and others' actions as well. Root. Yeah, I said the root, right? It's at the root. What did I say there? The red that you see budding in the frost-bitten tree is the root. Like this creative or sense of security that's coming back to you. So this has to do with your security is making your balance inside, and your security is making you feel more confident as you move forward, as you perceive it, right? You perceive that you're moving forward, okay? But you're always exactly where you should be, something like that. Okay, let's go in further. This is an interesting Sagittarius vibe feeling. I'm going to use tarot and a oracle deck to read the energy I'll put the names of these decks in the description box below so you can check them out if you want. What's going on for the collective, for you, during this new moon in Sagittarius? What is it that we need to know, Spirit? Three more. Ooh, we had destruction fall out. We'll keep that. Okay. Seems on point. I'm just going to get some tarot cards too, and then we'll begin talking about these energies that are coming through. What is it that we need to know right now, Spirit, during this new moon energy? What's coming in for the collective, for you? What's coming in for you? I'm hearing I love you too. Ooh, this card stayed behind when I was cutting the deck and I felt guided to pull it, and it was the Ten of Swords, and I pulled it for the card Destruction. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. Destruction and the Ten of Swords. Something intense coming to an ending, a difficult ending. Something destructive. Wow, okay. We have the Page of Cups at the bottom, which is that nascent energy, the potential energy, potential for love, potential for creation, potential for play and exploration. Yeah, look, there's the middle point, the indecision. Which way should I go? Which ladder is meant for me? Okay, so look, there have been perhaps a lot of options, or maybe not. Maybe there's only been a few options, but there's been an energy around that's managed to overcomplicate things. Okay, I'm hearing an entity. Okay, this could be a thought form. This could be someone else. Just got a notification from the moon at, don't underestimate the necessity of luxury. Interesting. That's the message from the moon app. When I'm doing a reading, I open this space and welcome messages to come through in multiple ways. So I'll take that as a message. And my devices are supposed to be on Do Not Disturb. So it's interesting how that... Okay, so you're in this place of feeling like you're protected. You're in that circle, in that autonomous zone. Okay, Do Not Disturb. And then a message comes in about luxury, or wanting something, or needing something, or having to live up to a certain standard. It could be material, it doesn't have to be. And this could introduce that sense of confusion, or I don't know which way to go to be abundant. I don't know which way to go to have this sense of luxury, maybe even in a relationship. Which tool is it going to take for me to ascend, for me to climb this ladder? The hammer or the scythe? I feel like that's a good title, The Hammer or the Scythe. I don't know, maybe it is a title for something. But Spirit is saying here, the energy of this new moon in Sagittarius is to know where your power is, okay? It's not the tool that matters. It's the power that you have to know what to do with each tool. And Spirit is also saying you are going to choose one of these ladders. Look, 2 different decks with images of ladders here. Snakes and ladders. What a frustrating game. Okay. And so maybe you feel that way. Just as you get to the top, you hit a snake on your path and you find yourself going all the way back down. This is why Spirit's saying, don't be surprised of those snakes. They're part of the game that you're playing. You can see them on the board. Okay. But overall, I feel like Spirit is saying you are going to choose. You are going to find that ladder. You are going to find your path. Now, the energy that you're in, your overall energy, is meander in Six of Swords. That middle point, that perception that maybe things are out of balance or that you're stuck, but you're not. You're just kind of meandering. You're not taking the straightforward path. But oftentimes when we take the path that is more windy and uncertain, we encounter things and lessons and people that we wouldn't have encountered had we just taken the straightforward path. Not everybody needs or should take the straightforward path. So you could be witnessing others around you kind of do things in so-called order. First they get this accomplishment, then they move to that, or first they start this relationship and then it accelerates into that. I don't know. There's like a ladder. There's some steps that seem to be in order to get what you want, and you're not doing it that way. You're going about it in a different way. But that doesn't mean that you're not heading towards the sun. Enlightenment, illumination. It actually means that you are gaining more wisdom. You are learning more about the different routes and paths and opportunities and possibilities. And the Six of Swords is a card about mental clarity. Interesting. I don't usually say that with the Six of Swords. Mental clarity. Freeing your mind from something. Detaching from the straightforward path. Okay? I'm seeing like people, ants, okay, like little ants I heard, but I saw people, but maybe these are ants too, like marching down this straightforward path. Is there a song about ants marching for kids? I don't know. These are energies that, well, there's, do I want to say that? Those who take the straightforward path, well, it's kind of like they got blinders on. Maybe that's the easiest, softest way to say it. Okay, it's not like a criticism. It's just a different way of doing things. So don't compare yourself to ants, I guess, is the message. You are, I think, not doing that anymore, if you ever were. You're moving away from that. Look, you're even willing to go down the path in which there is lava to test yourself maybe, or to test your strength, your courage, your sense of adventure. I feel like some of you are going to go on an adventure. Now, Sagittarius 9th house can also be about travel. And not only inward exploration, but outward exploration. So some of you might get an invitation to travel somewhere. You might feel that pull. I'm also seeing an eclipse here. There could be something about the last eclipse that kind of got this whole thing rolling for you. I do feel like someone's going to travel here. And maybe this is something unseen, but this is going to be an important part of your path. Maybe somewhere near, no. Okay. What you don't see coming, we have the Eight of Swords and Source. Look at that lion in a cage. Circus. Circus. Source. Stumped. I'm stumped. This is a message. Why? There's a question here of like, why did somebody, or why did a bunch of people allow themselves to be trapped? Or why are they engaging in a circus? Or maybe it's a question for yourself. Why am I trapping myself in this circus? This clown show. Because it feels opposite to source. Consciousness. But maybe this is, everything has a lower and higher form. So the Eight of Swords is about being all up in your head, going around and around in circles, trying to figure out the solution, the answer, trying to understand which way to move forward, feeling trapped. Feeling like no matter how much you know your strength and your courage and your ability to get what you want, for some reason you can't. And maybe what you don't see coming here with Source is Spirit showing you that some of these restrictions and obstacles that you've been experiencing are beginning to lift, or maybe they were never there at all. You take what resonates. Okay, the reason I say that is because the opportunity here is potential with the Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is a card of deception, trickery, cunning behavior, okay, doing things behind others' backs. And then we have potential. And I feel like there's some kind of deception here around your own potential. So self-deception perhaps, or maybe others have been deceiving you because they've been judging you in some way about your own potential. Okay, hold on a second. Let me think about how this Ten of Swords and destruction. I'm hearing threat. Maybe at some point you were threatened here. Okay, we're going a little Neptunian here, a little Jupiterian Neptunian in my next, thoughts, but I was hearing analysis. I don't know, there's some kind of free thinking that you're doing. Spirit keeps wanting you to know that. Like Jupiter is about expansion and Neptune is about deep psychic connection and tapping into collective energies. So I feel like you're going to expand in that area. Now, what was I going to say? Maybe that was the message. The threat. So some of you experienced a spiritual threat when you were young, or maybe this is recently. It feels like an earlier time though. Where your sense of connection to source consciousness, source energy, your higher self, magic, was shunned or ridiculed or made fun of. Or people tried to accuse you of something. Maybe this is even past life energy. And that really temporarily destroyed something within you when it came to your own mental clarity about your potentials to manifest what you want, to create newness in your life, to weave in your higher forms of power and knowing. This is a time to trust yourself. So I'm seeing this as like old energy, maybe even past life energy that still lingers with you. This sense of feeling like you're going to be ostracized, ridiculed, persecuted for potentially your spiritual beliefs or your connection to spirit on some level. And this could really be something that is, I'm seeing, what do you call it? A revolving door, like in an office building. This could be something that's like energy that comes in and then goes out and then comes in and goes out. And I feel like you're working right now with this new moon energy to clear this from your auric field, from your energy field, from your mind, so that you can really harvest your true potential and not let others, these are thought forms, these are entities and energies that try to come in through this revolving door. But I feel like you've been doing a good job pushing them back out. And maybe you need to find a way to stop that door from turning. I don't know why I'm seeing that. How did you feel about that door when you were a child? Was it something that you were excited to go into and play around with? Or was it something that you were worried you were going to get stuck in? Your thoughts and feelings, like what you feel right here when you think about the revolving door, like you just imagine it in an office building somewhere, the feeling you get has something to do with this. It could be a positive or negative feeling, but there's something about feeling like, I can play with this energy, no problem. I can bring it in, I can push it out. It's like I'm not, fearful of it. But if you felt like, oh, I might get stuck, and maybe that fear was not there earlier, but it became later, so you avoided those doors, this has something to do with like a fear of judgment from, not judgment necessarily, but like a witch wound, actually. Like a wound because of your magic, and feeling like you're going to get stuck in that energy of persecution on some level. This could even be coming through in a partnership, in a love relationship, in a friendship. Yeah, in a friendship or something, family. It's like it comes into your auric field, and then there's a feeling like, oh, I'm going to get stuck in this energy, or something's going to happen here. I'm not going to be able to reach my potential, or maybe those thoughts are projected onto you. Yeah. Okay, so there's something about that. But your opportunity here is to reach a new potential. Now your challenge is the Seven of Cups and erosion. Seven of Cups is a card of many choices. It can be confusion and illusion. Oh, here we have the snakes, and now the snakes and the ladders. Interesting. A game of snakes and ladders. I'm gonna have to look at that some more. Frustrating game. It's so simple too, right? Erosion. So the challenge could be being confused or not seeing what is eroding and what is no longer growing in your life. Erosion. I also feel like the challenge for you could be that your confusion, or the place in which you felt uncertain, unsure, stuck, is eroding. Mental clarity is on the horizon for you. And the reason why this could be a challenge is because there could be energies around you that are still in the Seven of Cups, that still are in a place of delusion, confusion, whatever it is. And as your clarity comes in and the erosion becomes apparent, the erosion of your confusion becomes apparent to others and to yourself, there's a rift that's created. You're no longer on the same frequency with others. Okay? Yeah, I feel like maybe you were sorting through like, who am I? Who am I? Or what can I do here? Or what's meant for me? Blah, blah, I mean, not blah, blah, but all those questions. But you figured it out now. But not everybody around you has. And that's okay. Everybody's got to meander to find that answer, really. And so maybe you're just going on a separate path from someone. You could also feel like some of your choices are beginning to evaporate. You're losing people, or you're losing opportunities. But if you feel like that, what you're forgetting is that with every loss, with every exit of energy from your life, you open up room and space for a new potential to grow. So remember that. Sometimes we need to, I'm hearing like, or empty the grocery bag. I don't know. Empty the grocery bag in order to have a new bag? I don't know. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so your advice, Eight of Cups and attachment. Well, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. Whatever you've been attached to, whatever dark energy in your own mind, negative self-talk, other people's dark energy out in the world, whatever attachments you've had around that, you're receiving a lot of information, messages that are coming through these darker energies or these all-consuming energies. And there's advice here from Spirit to try to create a distance and a space, a sense of detachment from these all-consuming energies. Maybe these energies you don't feel attached to, but they're trying to attach to you. This could be the media. This could be a social media algorithm. This could be food at the grocery store. I don't know. It could be many, many things. It could be a person. But create a space, a healthy distance. Doesn't mean you have to eradicate these energies entirely, but there needs to be a sense of your sacred circle, of your energetic protection, so that you can create what you want to create and harvest what you need to harvest without interference. You are receiving a lot of this is just what I'm getting. You're receiving a lot of messages from, like, I don't know, something that has a negative energetic attachment to something else. Okay, this could be a workplace that's constantly giving you messages. And all you need to do is recognize that and then create that mental distance from it, which you are with the Six of Swords. Maybe you meandered into the zone to see what it was all about. Let's see what these people are talking about. Let's see what my ex is up to. I don't know, whatever it is for you. Let's meander in there and see what's going on. But it's like time to meander out, okay? Because I feel like the messages are like piling up here. It's not really useful for you. There could also be somebody who's trying to send you a message, but you don't want to hear it. You're no longer interested in that. You want to detach from that. But I can't help but like really see how these cards are speaking to one another. See how this, I said something about a thread too. This tie around this person is so similar to this tie around these letters, around this message. So think about, what does this mean to you? Something you need to, or you have walked away from, or maybe you need to, but this isn't actually, this card doesn't depict someone actually walking away. So it feels like to me you've already walked away from something. But there's still some kind of attachment around it. So Spirit's bringing your attention to that. Okay, I want to get one more card here. What's the advice around this, Spirit? What actions can collective take around this? Number 43 or 7 could mean something. Oh, 7, the crone. Know your power. The world, know your power. Judgment in the world. Whoa. This is an act of self-preservation and protection for you. To really discern what is of value to you and what is not. And perhaps someone's left your life and Spirit is saying, like, this is for the best. So accept it. See this, it feels like you've completed the game, the board game, I want to say. Maybe there's something that was boring, getting boring. Like you've completed that. There's no slipping down the snake. There's a completion here that Spirit wants you to acknowledge. A supported completion. Rabbits, owls, bears might be significant for you. And for some of you, this could feel very sad. I'm seeing this coffin here. This sad tiger. That something is over. But you have to trust yourself and your own judgments of yourself. 1 second. Trust your own judgments. There could be a Capricorn in here. Just open to Capricorn is why I said that. Oh, remember me. Don't forget me. The messages. So you could be feeling the tug of somebody's energy, or somebody's thinking about you, and it's making you feel, which is okay. And maybe you feel some sadness around it, or you're grieving. This is normal. This is okay. It's part of the detachment process. I'm also being drawn to keep an open mind. Without one, nothing would be possible. Keep an open mind of why an ending happened. And don't attach yourself to the worst case scenario or the to the judgments of others as a reason for why something has ended. Okay? What's going to manifest in the next moon cycle, we'll say, for you, we have the 9 of Cups and stillness. Wow. So I feel like here, that time where you felt inertia or still, or like you were in the middle, was a time in which you were manifesting wish fulfillment. Okay, it's a time where the seeds of abundance were planted. And so now, like, these seeds are beginning to grow. And it feels like they happen at the moment or the time where you least expect it to come through. When the frost is on the trees, that you least expect to look out the window and see that glorious red apple of knowledge, or the cherries or the berries or whatever the red object is for you, the ball of string, a flower, I don't know what red object comes to mind for you. There's also, I'm seeing Mars, or what looks like Mars to me here. It could be the blood moon as well, but it feels like maybe something is being released. You are being released. Your Mars energy, your ferociousness, your courage, but it's coming through in a way that is confident, not immature. Number 44 could be something that you're seeing a lot of. So this is a beautiful time in this next moon cycle. I just saw 44 on the clock. Beautiful time up ahead of wish fulfillment, stillness, and trust and faith. Okay, I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. I love you so much. I'm going to be announcing the winner of the last, it was for Halloween. Wow, some time has passed. The last winner free reading thing I did. So on the all signs for Halloween. So I'll be announcing that in the community tab right after the new moon. And then I'll also be giving away a new free reading cycle on my membership channel. I don't know. I never talk about this, which is why it's coming out so clumsy. Anyways, so there'll be some stuff coming. Awkward and weird. All right. I love you guys so much. Maybe awkward and weird things are coming. I'll see you next time.